Making scenes and levels is doubtless not an easy task and can be very difficult to know what steps you have to take to accomplish a good scene. Originally, I planned this video to be a simple speed scene design video, but instead I decided to break down all the steps I took and explain everything as good as I can. So this will be a mix of a tutorial and a showcase. Before starting, if you want to understand something, let me know down below so I can help you out. As well, if you want to learn more about Unreal Engine 4, both its features and how to recreate mechanics, scene composition and level design, and game development in general, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos. As well, shout out to links over on Patreon for supporting me. And now, without further ado, let's begin the breakdown. Let's first talk about the composition. This is the main and probably most important thing you should think about when making a level or scene. Effects and sounds can come later. So, the first step that I always take is imagining the scene or level I'm making. This might seem stupid and obvious, but believe me, when I started making scenes, I used to just start making something, and if it looked good, I continued. If you're going to go to the first scene I've posted on the channel, you will notice the quality difference between the scenes, because this time I had a plan, I followed it, and I got a good result. One thing that I still do up to this day, and that might be a mistake, is that I make everything, and by everything I mean literally all the small details in my head, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that means that sometimes there's a big chance of failing because you don't have actual references and images of close topics to what you wish to create. So besides planning ahead a scene, a very good thing that you can do is to have images and pictures and whatever else you can find to help you construct the composition of the scene. My plans were these: first, make the landscape, add procedural foliage, add fog, adjust lighting, and add special effects and sounds in this exact order. And so, the first thing that I did is to sculpt the landscape around the camera. Now, because I'm making a forest, I had to make sure that it looked organic and natural. The way I usually do this is by using the flatten tool with peak value per apply checked. By having it enabled, the tool will constantly select new values to flatten toward. This way, nothing will ever look perfectly flat. If you want to learn more about the flatten tool, there's going to be a link in the description below. Back to the landscape, mid-process there was something that was ticking me off. The landscape material was looking horrible. Therefore, the landscape looked horrible as well. So what I did to fix this is to give the camera a better POV by changing the position and the rotation, so I gave it somewhat of a cinematic feeling. But I didn't fix it completely, and so I gave up on the landscape. The reason why I gave up on it is because I knew that it will look better once everything is done. Next step was foliage. This was rather an easy task because the pack that I used had procedural foliage volumes already made, so all the foliage was placed automatically, and fortunately I had the luck to get a very nice seed for the spawn. Now that I got most of the foliage out of the way and made some minor handmade adjustments, I could go to the next step, that being fog. What I did for this is the usual setup: combine both atmospheric fog with exponential height fog. For the atmospheric fog, I made sure that you can actually see it. In order to make this, I set the start distance to a low value and the Z offset to something around 0. Then I increased the fog multiplier and the density multiplier so it would stand out more. For the exponential height fog, I set the density to around 0.05 and enabled volumetric fog. Here I played around with some of the values to get better God rays and sunbeams. So my scene was almost done. There were only two more things I had to do: play around with lighting and change the post process. For the lighting, the only thing I did was to set all of it to be dynamic, change the intensity, and then enable the light shafts. And I was done with the lighting. Last thing was post-process, and this will mostly depend on what type of scene you want to achieve and the feel. The last thing that I did was to search randomly for other POVs. That will look nice. And after about 5 minutes of searching, I already found 2 more POVs which looked very nice. You'll be able to see all of the POVs at the end, so make sure to stay until then. I usually make scenes with only one POV, but I thought that it would look really neat with multiple positions and angles. And that concludes today's video. I hope that you found this video helpful and informative, and if you haven't understood something, let me know down below so I can help you out. As well, if you want to learn more about Unreal Engine 4, both its features and how to recreate mechanics, scene compositions, and level design and game development in general, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos. Before ending, recently I've opened an ArtStation account where I'm going to upload all my scenes and levels, and even those that I don't upload on YouTube. So make sure to check it out if you want to see more of my work. That being said, thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.